the Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Broadcasting from the Evergreen Media Network Studios in Vero Beach, Florida. It's Huntin with Heather.
Hey y'all, welcome to Huntin' with Heather. I am your host, Heather Hawk. This is Season 1, Episode 9. Thank you if you've come back to listen to another episode. And if this is your first time, welcome. This show is dedicated to all those who love to hunt, love the outdoors, and those who want to learn more. Whether you're a seasoned hunter or a green hunter, this show is going to be packed full of information. We're going to talk deer, turkey, and everything in between. And of course, you can't forget about those stories that keep us coming back for more. So grab a seat, sit back, and let's talk hunting. Before I introduce my guest today, I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsors, All Star Plumbing, for all your commercial and residential plumbing services. And I have another sponsor today that I'd love to give a shout out to, and they would love to give a message to you. Mr. Gary Van Arman, LCSW, together with his wife, Barbara Van Arman of Along Came Grace, would like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. They would also like to offer a reminder for each of us to be on the hunt for someone who is not having a very merry time. This time of year can be very challenging for many people. You can make a difference, so set your sights and get as many as you'd like, no limit. And by the way, if you are that someone for whom the holiday season is the hardest, the Van Armans would consider it a gift if you would just reach out. You can reach Gary at 772-633-8551 and Barbara at 772-205-9123. So my guest today was on my first podcast that I did, and he is a dear friend of mine, my husband's best friend, and I am so excited to hear about his season. He has had an amazing season, y'all. Since September, he has been going hard at it, and I haven't heard all of the details. I've kind of kept it for the show, so I'm really excited to get into it, and Mike Kincaid is my guest today.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So to start, we talked before archery season, and
Yep.
You've been hunting hard since September.
Yep, and I can't help myself. And
That's to be expected.
I believe there's YouTube out there that boys say, bow hunt or die.
That's right.
So I'm following that, and I sure had a good time with it.
You've had a great season.
Yep.
But you have definitely put in the time.
And I've worked at it.
Yes, that's it.
I think about this harvesting or hunting, and I've been hunting.
You have been.
And as far as the harvest goes, I mean, I have to work for it a little bit, and find that right acorn tree or the trail.
Mm-hmm.
And I do put cameras out. So that's pretty exciting. On public land, you might see a buck one day and might not see him for another month. So
this is true.
It makes it good, when I sit down on a stand or a ground blind or a chair in the swamp. It's almost like I'm anticipating. Well, I am anticipating the next hunt. So it's like if he shows up, great, but it gives me thoughts of my next
so
hunt.
I definitely want to talk about that a little later when we get into the Missouri part.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the cell cameras because I know there's pros and cons, and I have a con to it. I don't use them, but anyhow, I want to know. So September, you primarily hunted around here, right? I can't remember if you went up. Did you go up north at all?
No, I stayed Okeechobee. Public lands. Yeah.
And how did that work out for you? It
was good. It just, not everything unfolds. You're thinking on the opening day, because if you're looking for a particular deer, buck that may have shown up, there's about a dozen other guys out there doing the same thing. So the deer know you're in the woods, so it changes the game. And but I did manage to harvest a nice little 8 early season. And
is that the one with you carrying on the, or is that
on
a
the
doe?
cart.
On the
Yep.
cart, the one on the
Yep.
cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that you're like going through the swamp and yeah, there it is.
Yep. Sometimes you got to get a picture.
Look at there.
This old man got to
He took it for
show up
you?
once in a while,
yeah.
you know. And that buck too, I got in stand and sat down and put my guards down a little bit, figured I'd eat a cracker
And
or
now,
two.
that is how it
And
works.
what's neat about that is that when he come by me about 15 yards in some cover, and then what's that noise we make, Heather, when you want to stop a deer?
Meh.
Man,
Meh.
yeah. I did one of them after he was already almost out of sight, and darn if he didn't turn around and come back to me.
He did?
And wanted to find out what was going on. It was his last look.
Oh,
so that
my
was
goodness.
a treat to take him.
For sure. I
Yep.
can't believe he turned around.
That's what I said.
See, good Lord blessed you there,
Yeah,
right
oh,
there.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
knew.
it was good.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And did he come in closer range, or was he still about
it's
the 15?
Still about 15 yards, but in a different spot.
So what's your max shooting with your bow? Like, what is your comfortable? I mean, I know you can shoot further, but I mean, what is
Well,
your preference and max that you'll
My
shoot?
preference is 20 yards.
20 yards.
20 yards.
Okay.
Yep. So if he's at 40, if I see him at 40 at some point under oak and I'm in a stand, I'll move my stand. Hopefully for the next round, 20 yards
Oh my
closer.
gosh, really?
Yeah, I don't like too
Even
much
if he's like
distance.
perfect broadside, I mean, like you can just get a great
I don't
shot.
know. You know, I like there's a saying also says closing the distance.
Yeah.
And I like to close the distance.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun. It really is just getting in close to him.
I know.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, honestly, this, I think I need to go to just bow.
Bow's the way to go.
I do, I shoot the bow, and I was able to harvest a doe this year with one. And you know what happened to me? I don't know if I told you this past Thanksgiving.
Did your bow break again?
No, I missed 2 does with my gun.
What roll?
So I'm like, I think I just need to shoot. I just think I need to just shoot my bow.
Yeah.
I have better luck. And I prefer shooting with my bow. I don't know what it is. I know you have to be a little more strategic on everything. And I mean, not that you don't have to with a gun, but
Right.
Everything just needs to be a little more in place, and they have to be a lot closer.
Yep, and they even with the gun, I realized too, you still have to aim small, miss small.
This is true.
But-
This is true.
But we know it's a friend of mine was just telling me he killed a buck in Ohio with his crossbow, and he told me he's going back to a bow because he didn't have the adrenaline,
No,
as it was.
As with the
when
compound bow.
Yeah, so he's changing up. So
I love it.
I thumbs up,
Yeah.
thumbed up to my brother there. I said, "Way to go, man!"
Yeah.
I'll stand at your side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because that's all you do. I mean,
That's all I
you
do.
don't black powder, you don't any of that.
Nope. And you can see I've seen the same buck through the whole season and be within 40 yards with black powder or shotgun if I had them.
Right.
But still, put myself to where I can bow hunt them. Really.
It's just, and there's just something about it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, have them that close to, having the chance for it, being patient. I mean, you have to be patient for it all, but
Yep.
being patient for it just to come up to get that close to you.
Yeah. Yesterday morning, I quit my day job.
Yeah,
And,
right.
quit my day job so I could go hunt yesterday morning because I had a buck on camera the night before, and I needed a north wind. It was a little northeast, and it showed what would happen if the winds just aren't right. But I had a buck come in about 10 yards behind me across the ditch, and a nice little chocolate 8, and he
My goodness.
turned around, looked at him, he bobbed his head half a dozen times or more, just knowing there's something wasn't right.
Something.
But with shotgun, things can end real quick. But
For sure.
fortunately, with bow, and I say fortunately,
Right.
he moved on, and then might have another opportunity to.
You will,
Work the
just
wind.
because you say you quit your day jobs, because you're the boss. So you can do that. You can make the rules. There you go.
Yeah.
So you'll have, we still have what, the end of
January.
End of January, right?
Yeah, 21st, I believe, somewhere around there. So
you'll be out there. I know I talked to you. What did I talk to you? Sunday? And you were in the swamp.
Yeah, and I that's when I harvested that bobcat.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
that
I forgot to put that picture up there.
Yeah, no,
that was super cool.
That was super cool.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to bow hunt a
Have you had one before? No, is that your first one?
No, it was my first cat, and
he comes sneaking in.
Came sneaking in.
Mm-hmm.
So
and close enough. Again, there you go. Like,
yeah, right.
I don't think people realize how. When you bow hunt, I mean, you're getting them up so close they can smell, and most animals smell.
Yeah.
So, like, they're 10 times what we can, or I mean, way more than that. But I'm just saying that. So if you get them up that close.
Well, it's the wind too, I mean.
True. That's true.
We can have the pretty cologne, or we can have all the
scent-free stuff and
that, or having bacon on you from the
breakfast.
The morning, and if the winds are right, it doesn't matter what you had for breakfast. All right. So it's really it's working the winds. It's the wind.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
When I said that, because John, not that he won't use any of that stuff. I buy all like the dough estrus. I'm like, I buy the spray. I'm like, okay, you want this? He's like, I'm good.
Good.
He's
That's
like,
right.
How's the wind?
How's the wind?
How's the wind?
That's right.
He's like, ultimately, he's like, Heather, that's really what's going to be for you.
That's it. Sure.
So if that wind is in your favor, then you should be good.
And so get your wind app on your phone.
And I do.
Yeah.
What do you? I use Onyx. What do you guys do? Or what do you use?
Is it Ventura? It's something with a V. Can't help you on that one, but
yeah, I know. Last time I couldn't remember what I know
the icon do.
Yeah,
I know what I got to press when it. Press. I know the app.
Yeah, we use Onyx, and I like it because you can see the surrounding, the name of the people that own the private property next to you. If you needed that in case your deer went over on, When we were out elk hunting, we had to use it for that because the elk went on private land.
Yeah.
So it's good to know who you're. But going back to the wind. Literally will tell you, you could put in your phone, what is the best favor for the wind, for that stand or that blind.
Yeah, that's it.
And it'll tell you, go for it or no.
Yeah, where that buck was yesterday morning, the wind won't be right till Monday morning. So I might have to quit my day job again Monday morning so I can go hunt that wind, so I'm looking forward to that. And then whether or not he'll return, I don't know neither, but we'll find out.
That's right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and so we'll be back in a few minutes.
When it comes to service, All Star Plumbing gets all 5 stars. In fact, here's a real 5-star review.
After having 2 leaks in our copper pipes, we decided to have our home repiped by All Star Plumbing. All Star did the repiping and also arranged for someone to cut, patch, and repaint the drywall. We are very pleased and highly recommend them.
For faucet installation, plumbing leak detection, and pipe repair, in addition to new construction, repiping, remodel, and all other plumbing services, call 772-794-9611. All Star Plumbing.
Ladies, are you looking for a change but just don't know how to get there? Don't miss the Women's Life Mastery event, a roadmap for change to becoming your best self. 10 fabulous women sharing their expertise for real ways to positive change. This holiday season, invest in yourself and register today to discover and become your best self. Breakfast, lunch, swag, and more. The Women's Life Mastery event, Saturday, January 13th at Joy Farms in Vero Beach. Visit CIAcertified.com today for more details. CIAcertified.com.
Don't sweat in your boxers. Call the AC Doctors at 344-3944.
York, install confidence. Contact the AC Doctors, acdoctorsinc.com.
Your grandkids struggle. You've helped your kids through their struggles. What about yours? Back in your day, nobody talked about feelings, emotions, or mental health. Times have changed. It's your time to unstruggle. When life is a struggle, getting help shouldn't be. Unstruggle.org.
Paris Family Chiropractic understands after a long day in the woods, tracking and hunting, your back might be crying out louder than a call to the wild. Paris Family Chiropractic specializes in back, neck, and shoulder pain relief, carpal tunnel, disc injury treatment, headaches and migraines, sciatica treatment, and so much more. Get back to your prime hunting form. Visit ParisFamilyChiro.com and schedule your appointment today. Paris Family Chiropractic, Vero Beach.
Welcome back to Huntin' with Heather. I am here with my guest, Mike Kincaid.
Hello.
And we have been talking all kinds of stuff, archery and things like that. But I want to know about your Missouri hunt. Because I have seen the pictures, I've saw the buck, and man, that was pretty awesome.
That was good, a good hunt.
Yeah.
And actually had a lot of hunts. It was about, I think I was up there about 15 days. My niece lives there. It's on a military base there, called Fort Leonard Wood, and I hunted there last year. And took a buck up there, a younger buck, and the next day I saw his daddy on camera, and I said, I'll never do this again if I can help it, you know. Mm-hmm. And so this year I made a plan that I was going to pass up on some deer until I saw the one that I hoped to harvest, to kill. And I put some cameras out, put some cell cameras, and they're pretty exciting. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you hear the phone go off, and you can't help but look and see what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And so
I saw some of those pictures. So I saw before you got your buck, the target or the buck that you got.
Yeah.
I saw some pictures. John was like, "Hey, look at this." I don't know if you had sent me a couple, whatever, and I'm like, man. Those are awesome. I'm like, what's he doing? Why is he waiting? I mean, I guess, you hold out, but you also take that risk.
Yeah.
Right? I've never seen those they were really nice bucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And holding out. So
yeah. It's a gamble. It is, but it's a lot of once you start seeing these bigger bucks on camera and you see these other younger bucks when they start walking towards you, you can identify them,
right.
and you make that decision, then not to harvest them, and then you get some video on them, and it is great being able to not have to, pull the trigger
right
on the deer, and I learned that with this hunt with this buck that I killed, and
so the buck, there it is. There he is. Have you named him?
A good
Have you named him, or did you name him at all?
I didn't get to name him because I was naming the other one that I had on camera, and I say he was a Big 10,
and he's a 14.
He's got 14 on him, and
a few little kickers here and there. I saw.
Yeah, he's a good one. So after I believe I chased that 10 off of bed one day, I was pushing in, and some boy had killed gun season that opened up that next morning, and somebody told me that they saw a Big 10 or a 10 point in the back of this guy's truck off this area that I'd been hunting to. So I'd tried another area out close by, put a camera out, and got a picture of him. And so that
during the day or night?
This was a night picture because I'd hunted in there. I put a camera in. He came through. The next morning, I hunted off a fire break, just sitting in a chair, and I saw we're waiting for the does, hopefully to start, going in heat,
right,
and getting some of these bucks up. And I saw a buck running through some high grass about half, about 3 or 4 times. I could just see horns that morning. And then I had one more. I had a stand. This is getting towards the end of my hunt. It's going to be my last full day.
Oh my goodness!
And I was going to pull my stand out that afternoon after that morning hunt. And I got it, you know, if we got a minute, I need to tell you how that happened.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Tell me.
Because
Yeah, this is definitely.
I did get in stand, and probably about 8 o'clock, I had a big buck come downhill about 75 yards from me. Now, Fred Berry, there's a friend of mine was just telling me about and quoting that, you know, a bow hunter learns more in a week than a gun hunter will in a lifetime. And to see this unfold was just beautiful. And this buck, so I tried the grunt call, and he came from his, you know, his midnight date night, and he was heading back to bedding.
Yeah. So it was morning. Was it morning?
It was morning that I was in, and probably another hour had gone by, and a doe I can harvest a doe and a buck, and I had a doe come in from behind me about 15 yards, and my bow was on the hanger, and I thought maybe, you know, I could harvest me a doe this morning. And then I thought, well, I haven't been seeing does. She might be hot. And next minute, I heard a deer jump back from behind me, and I just knew I blew things by my movement. And it's amazing to watch how these deer get so entrapped, or, you know, they get messed up. And this buck had to see me, because he looked at me twice when he come by me, because I turned around and I'm trying to look, and he come around. It was a smaller 8. Right. So he was on this doe. He stopped, looked 15 yards from me, looked up at me, didn't care about me, and kept on that doe. And so I figured, they always say don't shoot the first buck that comes through anyway, chasing the hot doe. Oh man, that's so hard. I turned back towards where they came from, and within a half hour, I looked back towards the fire break where that doe had gone, and here boy had come up. And just to watch him. Fortunately, he got wind of her before she got probably downwind of him. Right. So he was heading upwind, trying to pick her back up and then run her down. And he came in within, 18 yards. Oh my gosh. And still running his head down. And so what's that noise again? What are they? Matt. There it is. Matt. And hey boy. No, I'm just kidding. So fortunately, I had a good shot on him. Awesome. And was able to, trail him. Yeah. And when I, and to find him, I kid around with, I started sending texts. I said, man, look at this buck I found sleeping. And, I don't want you tell on my buddies, a couple of them says, man, is he sleeping? Yeah, and I'm like, all right, buddy, let me move on to the next buddy. Yeah. All right. So anyway, what a great hunt. And yeah, congratulations on that. That's a buck. I mean, that's a buck of a lifetime for got to go bigger, but that is definitely a buck of a lifetime. Yeah. Definitely. And a hunt of a lifetime. Yep. You always will remember that. Yep. And something to remember, and you learned. That's right. You learned a lot. And I have learned that I'm going to try to wait for another buck to come in, and I won't shoot that first buck. Yeah. Now, if you know he's good, you know what I'm saying? It's just being able to, I don't know. It's just being out there in the woods. You know that? Yeah, and it is. It sure is. It is. Yep. I'm looking forward to getting back out there. Like I said, we have till the end of January. So, and I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. And thank you guys for joining the show and listening. And Mike, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it, and enjoy talking with you. And have a very Merry Christmas. You do the same, Heather. Appreciate you. Thank you. Be blessed. Peace out. All right.